And some 15 years before independence, 10 Kenyan girls drawn from all corners of the country were enrolled in Kenya's first ever high school for African girls. The colonial government at the time started the African Girls High School in 1948 as an experiment to see if African girls were worthy of a high school education. I had the pleasure of meeting one of the pioneer students of what is now Alliance Girls High School. On her Say Tonight, Abigail Kageha recounts her time at the school and how that transformative experience prepared her for the rest of her life. It was 1948 when 10 Kenyan girls would be handpicked by the colonial government to be the first students at the African Girls High School. Until then, African girls would only be eligible for a primary school education, and only a select few were allowed to attend high school at boys' institutions.
Girls cannot go to school because they don't measure to the brain of the boys. So we were looked down at and said, no, these girls are not clever enough to go to high school. That's what it was. Most girls who wanted to go to school could not go because they were being discouraged, first by the parents, and then by the community.
That was the backdrop against which a young Abigail Kageha would find herself. She had the privilege of attending primary school in Kaimosi, where she completed her Standard 8 studies in 1947. She had plans to train as a teacher thereafter, but an unexpected turn of events would change all that.
I had a brother who was a teacher at Kaimosi, came with a letter, and he showed me and said, now look at this. We have received this from the Minister of Education. They say the government has agreed to start a government school for African girls, and you are one of them. I was number one on the list.
In 1948, the doors of the African Girls High School would welcome the 10 pioneer students as an experiment. The school wasn't much back then. It was an ex-army barrack that was carried from Dagoretti Market, comprising a dining room, dormitory, classroom and store.
We entered the place, the 9 of us. Then we were joined by Margaret Kenyatta, the late. She had been going to Alliance Boys High School when she was in Form 2. We were also joined by Joanne Waithaka, the former principal of Alliance Girls High School. She was repeating Form 4 to join Makerere University.
By 1950, the school's enrollment grew to 27 girls and has since seen notable alumni walk its halls, including former First Lady Lucy Kibaki, Kitui Governor Charity Ngilu, First woman judge of the High Court and Court of Appeal Lady Justice Effie Owuor, and the first woman cabinet minister Honorable Nyiva Mwendwa, among others. The beginning wasn't easy, but Abigail says she wouldn't trade the experience for anything.
We would wake up very early in the morning singing songs and carrying pangas to go and cut grass ourselves. Because we were under colonial rule and we were being told you can't wear shoes because African girls don't wear shoes. You go to school barefooted. You can't have long hair because it is not meant for Africans. And we had to obey everything we were being told because you can't go against it. It's the rule of the school. It's the rule of the Minister of Education. But we were very happy at that school.
Abigail would complete her studies at Alliance in 1951 and thereafter go on to teach for 14 years. After which she joined the Ministry of Education as a personnel officer. She's had quite a fulfilling career in the education sector, having sat on 11 school boards, among other accomplishments. She may have slowed down now at the age of 88, but she keeps her mind moving and enjoys the company of her husband, respected educationist Philemona Indire, who is actually the first African professor of education in Kenya. Abigail's legacy and that of the pioneering girls is still evident at Alliance Girls High School, that at 70 years strong continues to produce some of the country's best and brightest.